Hey everybody, welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel. Today we're going to be diving into a really big question. Is it worth upgrading from the Eastman MDO605, which I am holding, to the brand new Bourgeois M5O-BT Octave Mandolin?
I think both of these are really incredible octave mandolins in their own right, but today we're going to break down all the specs, we're going to look at the price gap, and then we're going to give you 5 key differences to help you decide if the Bourgeois M5O-BT is worth the extra investment.
Has been broken into, all my dreams have been... Before we get into the full specs of these two incredible mandolins, I would really like it and appreciate it if you guys hit that like or the subscribe button, or do them both. I don't care.
You're allowed
do
to
them
do
all.
both.
Yeah, as well as comment down below. We also have a link down below for the full performance video that we just finished doing, so you can click that. Check out that video as well.
That's right. And don't forget, guys, stick around to the very end of the video because we're going to include some tone samples at the very end so you can hear exactly what these two instruments sound like back to back. And if you want to skip ahead and skip all the talking, which I don't know why you would, there are some timestamps in the description so you can jump right to that tone sample. All right, John, we're going to jump right into the comparison specs between these two. I'm holding the brand new Bourgeois M5O-BT, whereas you're holding the MDO605 from Eastman. This one comes in at a price point of $24.99. We're going to get that one fully decked out at $17.59. This one has the aged tone or torrefied Adirondack spruce top, and that one's going to be a standard Sitka spruce top.
Correct.
This one has the aged tone or torrefied European maple back and sides, as well as the neck. All that's torrefied as well.
Upgraded, nicer maple.
Upgraded maple, and also fully aged tone, whereas that one's just going to be a standard maple back and sides untorrefied. The nut width on this one comes in a little bit wider at 1 3/8, whereas that one's going to be 1 3/32 of an inch, so a little bit difference there, and you can kind of feel that on the neck. Ebony bridge on both these, adjustable bridge, ebony fretboard, as well as ebony overlay on the headstock. Ivory binding on both as well. This one does have the black gloss top on it, as well as that really nice burgundy finish on the back and sides. That one's going to be a gold burst finish, a really nice gloss finish on that as well. Tuners on this, it does have the golden age satin tuners on the Bourgeois Octave mandolin. Yours has the standard Pingwell tuners on it, so a little bit of an upgrade there as well. Does have both of these come with a deluxe hard shell case, where the Bourgeois one has a little nicer interior and some
green
hygrometer
versus maroon or wine.
That one does come with a pick guard, where this one doesn't, so that's a slight advantage if you're looking for a pick guard. This one, both of them have ivory binding, as I mentioned before. The scale length of both of these comes in at 21 inches. That one being kind of the sister to the 600 series from Eastman, comes already pre-installed with a K&K pickup.
Yep.
So that's a nice advantage of that one that this one does not have. But again, this one is all torrefied instrument. That's the big difference in the M5As as well compared to a standard 500 series from.
This also gives you those gorgeous block inlays too. So if you want something a little flashier, that's pretty nice.
This one's a little more traditional look too. This has the more traditional F holes that you can find on mandolins. That has kind of the S, like more modern. So that's the overall specs of the instruments. We forgot to mention this also comes with the James tailpiece. Another nice upgrade compared to the 600 series from Eastman. But
you want to know another thing that I saw? There's a couple little like minute fine details. Rounded and smoothed off bridge corners, where this is going to be a little bit harder edged. Clean and well refined, but that just seems to be a little bit more, just kind of taking
a little more time was spent,
yeah,
I think, in building the Bourgeois in general.
Both of them are great mandolins. They really are. They are definitely both pro-level instruments, but there's a little bit more fine details that are coming in on the Bourgeois M5O-BT, and it might be something you might want to kind of consider when you're trading up from, or maybe you're just deciding whether this one is worth stopping here or going all the way up to the M5O.
And I think we're going to work, our goal in this video is to help people make that decision. So we're going to give you 5 big highlights and upgrades that the M5O-BT has over the 605 that could make it worth the extra cost if you're considering stepping up from that mandolin, or if it's your first purchase and you're looking for which one to jump in with.
So the first big difference between these two is going to be just the overall Tonewoods. There's a few different things. One, upgraded Tonewoods. We're going from Sitka to Adirondack spruce. We're going to torrefied or aged tone package, as Bourgeois likes to call it. So now you've got a fully torrefied instrument versus a non-torrefied with a little bit lesser grade of those woods too, because that has the European maple. This just has, they're again, well-flamed, high quality maple, but a little bit step up from there.
And I heard Dana talking at IBMA about the European maple. He thinks it gives a softer tone than some of like the hard rock, what do you call it, the sugar maple that is used on a lot of other mandolins, giving you a little bit more refined tone as well. So another upgrade there, going to the European maple on the back and side. Another big difference, John, to point out is the nut width. This one has a slightly wider nut width, making it at 1 3/8 versus the 1 3/32. So it makes it a little bit more comfortable, especially for a guitar player that's switching to mandolin. But I even found it for my hand to be a little bit more comfortable as a wider nut to be able to get some of these open chords and play it in general. So that is another thing that I lean towards, is a slightly wider nut on this one.
I also think the neck shape is slightly different too. I think this one's a little more rounded versus that one has a little bit more of a V shape to it. The next difference that we're going to talk about is the overall look. And this one, I guess, is a little bit more individual. Yeah, subjective. Because I know a lot of people love the gold burst, as do I. I really am a big fan of this. This kind of comes from their electric guitar bodies. They were doing a lot with the gold burst look. Very attractive. I find this to be a little bit more refined. I like the headstock shape on that. I like the black top. I love that color of the maple on the back. I don't know what they're officially calling it, burgundy / wine.
Whatever it is, it looks gorgeous.
Chianti. It's a Chianti color. I don't know what that even is.
Some fava beans. Yeah, I think, and also the FO, we mentioned that earlier, a little bit more traditional look, where this one just has a more modern look and feel to it. And with that pickguard, it just kind of looks like a more modern octave mandolin, where this is really going for those traditional aspects of the build. All right, John, next point we have is the hardware. This one has upgraded hardware. We got the age tone or golden age tuners on the headstock. Very smooth turning tuners, but also look very attractive. They kind of got a satin nickel color to them. And they, like I said, they work really well. And also upgrading to the James tailpiece in that satin finish. Those are two major upgrades in the hardware. That one, like I said, does come with a pickup, but the trade-off is you're not getting quite as nice Pingwell tuners as well as the standard cast Eastman tailpiece.
Which, again, for myself, I don't know if I'm as much in finding the difference in the tuners. I've never really had any major issues with any of the Eastman tuners. The tailpieces, we have definitely had some issues with some of the cast tailpieces in the past, and we do know that the James tailpiece is a very large upgrade.
I do feel a much smoother turning of these gears, so I will give it a little extra points there. See, I nailed it, dialed it right in there. So I think that upgraded hardware in general is really worth the extra. And this brings us to our fifth major difference between the two mandolins that might make it worth the upgrade. And that's partly the Bourgeois name and design, the legacy of Dana Bourgeois. If you walk into a room of luthiers, there are a certain number of luthiers that just everyone's attention turns to them.
It's true.
And Dana Bourgeois has earned that reputation of being just kind of a legendary luthier, especially in the Tonewood and the way he voices Tonewoods and really studies them. And he told us when we toured the workshop up there years ago, he's always wanted to build a mandolin. He's had specs in his head of how he would do it if he had the bandwidth to be able to do it. These designs are Dana Bourgeois' vision. This is what he planned on doing in his own workshop. Eastman allowed him the ability and the bandwidth to build them, but they are totally built. And we've been there when he gets some of the prototypes through, and he goes through them with a fine-tooth comb and meticulously.
I don't know why he would use a fine-tooth comb on a mandolin.
It just finds every single hair that it gets. No, he goes through it and makes sure any detail lives up to that Dana Bourgeois level of quality and production.
That's exactly what he's wanting to do.
There's a lot of value in that between the two. I mean, he has really put a lot of thought into the design. Then we talked about the Tonewoods. We talked about the upgrades for just the European spruce top and Adirondack spruce top alone. Most people would charge you more than the cost of the mandolin just in that upgrade from the 600 series. So that alone is a huge upgrade. But all these things just kind of brought together by Dana and his vision make a huge difference. And we haven't really talked about the tone, but I do think they all culminate in a more developed, more professional sounding instrument. Not to say the 600 isn't a great one. We've done reviews on that. I think it's an excellent option. This one just has a little bit more with that Adirondack top. And I think the European maple is a little smoother, not quite as brittle, and it doesn't max out as much. It's just kind of a softer tone to it. So those are a few of the main differences between the two. I think there's obviously the upgrade value in the price difference. It just depends on what you're looking for in an octave mandolin to decide which one is best for you. All right, John, this is the part people have been waiting for. What do they sound like? Can you tell the difference in the sound? We are going to play I'm going to play the two instruments back to back and give you guys an idea of what they sound like so that you can really judge for yourself based on tone alone what you think. Well, John, did we help you make up your mind?
I have bought both of them.
Get both of them. That's the best
what
solution. I hope we helped you to come to that conclusion as well.
I used your money, your credit card, but I bought them both.
But if you want a little bit, we were doing a review on this instrument. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but we do have one on the 605 MDO605, the Octave version that you're holding right there. And if you guys want to get some of the in-depth detail on that particular instrument, click that link right below, and make sure you tune in for the next video. We appreciate it so much. Please subscribe if you got any value out of this video. We'll see you on the next one.